This is the first global, digital, private, rules-based monetary system in history. It's a very big idea. When we wrote the paper in collaboration with Art Laffer, you know Art Laffer, supply-side economics, Laffer curve, he said, I've been waiting for this since they closed the gold window in 1971. So he's been waiting 50 years for this, right? And he's so excited about everything crypto, but especially Bitcoin, because he believes, and it is true, monetary policy around the world is unhinged. It's not hinged to anything except human decision making. And this is going to put discipline, rigor, back into
these particular products you're talking about.
Well, Bitcoin is, the monetary system is Bitcoin. And so, yes, why now for these? We've been working with 21 shares since I met Ophelia at an ETF confab in 2018. They had really just started their business. And I said, you know, we want to move towards crypto. You are completely crypto. They were focused on the infrastructure, the regulations, really blazing a trail. They had to invent things in order to make this happen. And we knew that was not our core competency. And so but we did start talking. Our core competency is research on disruptive innovation. They do research, they do deep technical research on the market. Our research is on the disruptive innovation that it represents. And we've just been coming together for 5 years. It was a natural for us to come together. They are, or 21 Shares is the largest crypto ETP provider in the world, $1.5 billion. They have 35 different funds, most of them in Europe, in and around Europe. They were looking for a US entree, and we were looking for infrastructure, and you know, we're just delighted to be partnering with them, given how much groundwork they had to lay for this to happen.
Speaking of groundwork, on another product that you're working on, of course, the spot Bitcoin ETF, yes, which you are also partnering with them, yes, on, and you've got your filing in. There's a lot of filings in. Every day, seemingly, there is a new rumor about approval of one of these things. Yes. What are you hearing from the SEC at this point? You know, there's a January deadline I know that people have been looking to. Mm-hmm. How confident are you that you're going to get approval?
Well, something has changed. So we had put in a number of times a filing, and we were just denied. Never got any questions, really never got any response. This time, this summer, we got questions back from the SEC. Now, normally when you get questions from the SEC, you're just saying, oh my goodness. We were thrilled to get questions back because it means they're engaged now. Now, we have met a number of the research people at the SEC on the research side, and they are extremely sophisticated. They know what they're talking about, and the level of sophistication of their questions suggested, okay, now they're moving deeply into this. And we answered those questions. We have not heard back. That's a good sign too. They never tell you that you've satisfied them, but if you don't hear from them, that usually means that you have satisfied the answers to the requests. So that was new, and we also know that Blackrock got questions. Mm-hmm. We put our answers in first. I think they have followed, and I'm not sure about anyone else. Mm-hmm. That was different, and it says, okay, there's movement, and we are the first in line, just because we kept refiling. Others gave up, and so, but we just kept refiling. We just kept, and we became first in line. So David against Goliath, right? And that's January 10th is the final deadline. Mm-hmm. They've been able to push it. It's very orchestrated. Push it, but the final, they either approve or deny on January 10th.
What do you think?
Well, again, I mentioned something has changed.
Right.
That's good. The odds have gone up. There is only one wrinkle, just occurred to us in the last couple of days. They will approve a number at once. It won't be just one. That would be choosing a winner, given the way ETFs work. But we know Grayscale wants to convert to an ETF. I don't know how practical that is, or if the SEC will let them, or if they need a special dispensation. I just don't know the rules. Grayscale has said it will sue the SEC again if it denies the conversion. If they were to do that before January 10th, I don't know if that would throw everything up in the air again. I just
For
don't
the
know.
others as well.
For everyone.
Right.
Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know.
So there's still a lot of unknowns out there. You mentioned you guys bought into Bitcoin at 250 way back when. So the return from 250 to 35, 36 looks pretty good.
Yeah.
But it's not 100,000 that I think you and I have talked about at various points, or even loftier numbers. Where are we in that cycle?
I think, so if we look at the reasons that Bitcoin will scale, so our base case is today $600,000 to $650,000, and our bull case, based on the scarcity that is now developing, we're at roughly 19.5 million Bitcoin out there. There will only be 21 million ever, and we do believe that. We think that institutions, if the SEC blesses a Bitcoin ETF, institutions will feel like the coast is clear for them to pursue. And we know a lot of institutions have been researching crypto assets for a while and do agree that it is a new asset class. Bitcoin was the first in a new asset class. We wrote a paper in 2000, I think it was 16, ringing the bell for a new asset class. And our director of digital assets said to me, "Do you realize that happened today? We rang the bell for a new asset class." I said, "Oh, I didn't make that connection." Anyway, so institutions understand when there is a new asset class, it's there's an opportunity to diversify and increase returns per unit of risk. That's very important.